The Powhatan Tribe by Carmen F. The Powhatan Tribe was located in eastern Virginia. Powhatan, also known as the chief Pocahontas, was the leader of the Powhatan Confederacy. Usually all the chiefs had to make decisions together, but Chief Powhatan was the absolute leader, so the other village chiefs had to obey what he said. In 1609, after years of dealing with the English and their bullying, the Powhatan had enough. Even though trading with the English had its advantages, it wasn't enough, so the first war started. Pocahontas had a daughter whose name was Pocahontas. At the age of 11, she met a boy named John Smith, who was an English man. They became friends but weren't romantic with each other. Later, after Pocahontas was captured, she married a god named John Rolfe, who was an English colony. In 1614, the chief accepted peace with the English. 3 years later, Pocahontas died of a disease. Powhatan's brother, Pocahontas, was determined to continue the fight. Around 1622, he led an attack that nearly finished the Jamestown colony. About 350 settlers were killed before it stabilized. The Algonquian and English continued the fight until 1645. Later, Pocahontas was executed. They forced the tribes to cede the land and recognize English authority. The Powhatan believed in many types of gods, such as Ahone, the creator and giver of good things, and Oak, the evil spirit whom they tried to appease with offerings of furs, beads, and tobacco. They also believed in afterlife for important leaders. Chiefs and priests were preserved on scaffolds in temples. To get around, the Powhatan Indians used wood to make quantons, a type of canoe. The size of them were based on how big the tree was. After they cut it down, they hollowed the inside. The finished product was long and had a V-shaped bottom. The quantons were used for kneeling. The women used the quantons to get supplies and other useful things. The men used heavy wooden war clubs and tomahawks to hunt. The hunters also used nets, spears, a bow and arrows, and carried shields with them. The Powhatan Indians lived in small round houses that were called longhouses or wigwams, and longhouse was made of bark and trees. They were also long and narrow. Multiple families could live in one longhouse. Each village had a food storage building and a council house. The longhouses are one big room without windows and a cooking hearth to let out smoke. Women harvested food such as squash, corn, and beans. Men hunted for turkeys, deer, and fished. This helped them create food such as soup, stews, and cornbread. They also had nuts, pumpkins, rabbit, berries, and squirrel. Women wore fringed skirts that went down to their knees. They wore moccasins as shoes and earrings as accessories. Men dressed in breechcloth and wore leggings when the weather was cooler. Men also wore cloaks and mantles made of turkey feathers. The children didn't wear clothes until about the age of 7 or 8. The Powhatan children are like any other children. They play with friends, go to school, and do their chores. They usually had many more chores than time to play. The children had toys such as a little bow and arrow and dolls. The girls usually married at the age of 13 and the guys at the age of 15. They made their silverware out of seashells, wood, and rocks. Their gardening tools were made of bones, rocks, and deer antlers.